السلام عليكم. بهاي المحاضرة راح نشرح الإلاستومرز impression materials. أخذنا بالمحاضرات السابقة ال classifications of the impression materials. آخر classification عندنا هو elastomers impression materials. هاي الانيميشن يوضح لنا ال classification of impression materials. Impression material can be classified for non-elastic اللي هي impression materials, البلاستر, الimpression compound, zinc oxide eugenol, and impression wax. The impression material also can be classified for elastic impression materials اللي هي الهيدروكولويد impression materials اللي أخذناهن بالمحاضرة السابقة اللي هي الأجر تعتبر reversible والألجينيت اللي يعتبر irreversible. Another classification for the elastic impression material is elastomers اللي هي عندنا البوليسولفايدز البوليإيثر والسيليكون two type الكوندنسيشن سيليكون والاديشن سيليكون. Elastomeric impression materials, they are liquid polymers which can be converted to solid rubber at room temperature. By mixing a suitable catalyst, then undergo polymerization reaction, cross-linking reaction to produce a firm elastic solid. There are three types of elastomers in the polysulfide والsilicone والpolyether. Each type of this impression material can be subdivided into four viscosities اللي هي عندنا light body or syringe consistency, regular body or medium consistency, heavy اللي هي لها another name tray consistency, اللي very heavy or putty consistency. هاي أهم classification of elastomers impression material according to the consistency light والmedium والheavy والvery heavy اللي هي putty consistency. Polysulfide it is also known لها another name اللي هي عندنا mercaptans or thiocol يجينا على شكل based on accelerator base. البيز دائما تكون وايت الاكسلريتر يا اما تكون براون or gray in color. الفيسكوسيتي applied in three viscosity light body والmedium body والحديد. الكومبوزيشن البيز بيست والكاتاليست بيست. البيز بيست هو يتكون لنا من الليكويد polysulfide polymers with the terminal SH group. The function of this group is for adding in polymerization reaction. الانترفيلر اللي هي عندنا السيليكا or titanium dioxide to give body control viscosity and modify the physical properties. الكاتاليست بيس اللي هي عندنا الليد دايوكسايد اللي راح يتفاعل لنا ويا الثيول جروب الموجودة بالبيز وعندنا دايبيوتيل فيثيليت اللي هي تعتبر البلاستيسايزر والسلفر اللي راح يسوي لنا enhancement for the reaction وعندنا المغنيسيوم ستريت اللي هي تعتبر retarder of this reaction. Setting lead dioxide react with the polysulfide polymer causing chain lengthening by oxidation of the terminal SH group and cross-linking by oxidation of the pendant SH group. This reaction يعتبر exothermic. 3 to 4 rise in temperatures is accelerated by heat and moisture. The properties unpleasant odor and color, stain clothes and continue even after setting, has high permanent deformation among the elastomers, and this improves with the time, so pouring of the model should be delayed by half an hour. Further delay should be avoided to minimize the curing shrinkage. Loss of the byproduct also cause shrinkage. Has high tear strength, easy to work with it. Has long sitting time of the 12.5 minutes. Excellent reproduction of the surface detail and dimensional stability. The curing shrinkage is high, about 0.45. Also, one of these properties is it has good flexibility, hydrophobic materials, the shelf life good and inexpensive to use, require a custom-made tray special application. Silicone rubber impression materials another type of the elastomers. عندنا two types of the silicone impression materials. التقسيم طبعا يعتمد على type of the polymerization reaction during setting. قسمها إلى addition silicone and condensation. condensation silicone يجينا ب 3 viscosities اللي هي light, medium, body. supplied as a paste تجينا على شكل قصارتين اللي هي base paste و catalyst paste. نفس الوقت يجينا البوتي اللي هو يجينا large plastic jar. The same catalyst base may be used for some time, may be supplied as liquid. They came in varieties in colors. The base and accelerator are useful in contrasting the color, which aid in the mixing. Composition هو يتكون لنا من البيس والأكسلريتر. البيس يتكون لنا من البولي دايميثيل سيلاكسون، الانترفيلر كولويد سيليكا or metal oxide filler and color pigment. الأكسلريتر هو متكون لنا من الأورثو أثيل سيليكات اللي يعتبر كروس لينكينج ايجنت، والستانلس اوكتو 8 اللي يعتبر هو setting reaction الدايميثيل سيلاكسون راح يدفع لنا ويا الأورثو أثيل سيليكات، وبوجود الستانلس اوكتو 8 راح يعطينا السيليكون اللي هي المادة اللي نستخدمها بالإمبريشن and أثيل الكحول. The properties of the silicones pleasant odor and color. Direct skin contact should be avoided to prevent any allergic reaction. Setting time تقريبا from 8 to 9 minutes. Excellent reproduction of the surface detail and dimensional stability. More because of high curing shrinkage 0.4, 0.6, and shrinkage is due to evaporation of the ethyl alcohol, and to avoid this gas should be poured immediately. Tear strength is lower than polysulfide, stiffer and harder than polysulfide. Hydrophobic material, shelf life slightly less than polysulfide, and elasticity develop earlier than polysulfide. Slightly more expensive than polysulfide and need to paint the tray with adhesive materials. They are most widely used with the stock tray. Putty consistency offering an advantage over the polysulfide, which are used with the special tray only. الابليكيشن condensation silicone commonly يستخدموه في الكراون and the bridge occasionally for partial damage. Another type of the silicone اللي هو addition silicone. They are introduced later. طبعا صفاتها تكون better than the condensation. وإلى another name اللي هو polyvinyl siloxane. يجينا على شكل 4 viscosities اللي هي اللايت body والميديوم والهيفي والبوتي. البيست tube, the paste and catalyst come into equal size tube والبوتي jars, two equal size plastic jars, one containing the paste and the other containing the catalyst. البيز اللي هو البولي hydrogen silaxones and other silaxones prepolymers. وعندنا الفيلر. الأكسلريتر اللي هو divinyls polysilaxone other silaxone prepolymers platinum salt and palladium or hydrogen absorber retarder and the filler. السيتنج رياكشن الفينيل سيلاكسون راح يتفاعل ويا السايلان سيلاكسونز. طبعا بوجود الكلوروبلاتينيك أسيد راح يعطينا السيليكون رابر. البروبرتيز presence odor and color first allergic reaction لذلك direct skin contact should be avoided. Excellent reproduction of surface cells. Setting time is 5 to 9 minutes. Has best dimensional stability among elastomers even after 1 week. It has low curing shrinkage and is about 0.17% and lowest permanent deformation اللي هي كلش قليلة 0.05 0.3%. It has good tear strength. It is hydrophobic material. Similar care should be taken while making the impression and pouring in the wet stone. Some manufacturers add surfactants to make it more hydrophilic. It has low flexibility and harder than the polysulfide. Extra spacing اللي هي about 3 mm should be provided in the impression tray. The shelf life ranges 1 to 2 years and it is more expensive. Polyether, it has good mechanical properties and dimensional stabilities. Its disadvantage working time very short, and the material was very stiff and also expensive. Available in base and accelerator in collapsible tube. The accelerator tube is usually smaller. Earlier it was supplied as a single viscosity. A third tube containing thinner was provided. It is available in 3 viscosity: light, medium, heavy. الcomposition البيز based والaccelerator based. البيز based هو البوليإيثيل polymers والكولويدال سيليكا الفيلر والجلايكوليثر or phthalates اللي هي البلاستيسايزر. الاكسلريترز هي عندنا الاروماتيك سوفونيتس الكروس لينكينج ايجنت والكولويدال سيليكا والجلايكوليثرز للبلاستيسايزر. الستاتينج رياكشن البولي ايثر راح يتفاعل ويا السلفونيك استر كروس لينكد رابر. Properties pleasant other taste sulfonic esters skin reaction. Direct skin contact should be avoided. Setting times about 8 to 3 minutes and heat decrease the setting time. Dimensional stability is very good. Curing shrinkage is low 0.24%. Permanent deformation is low. However, polyether absorb water and can't change dimension, so should not be stored in the water or in the humid climate. من ضمن الصفات أيضا هو extremely stiff. It is hardness higher than the polysulfide and increase with the time. Removing it from the undercard is difficult, so extra space about 4 mm should be given. And care also should be taken while removing the cast from the impression to avoid any breakage. Tear strength is good and it is hydrophilic impression material and shelf life is excellent, more than 2 years. There are many technical considerations for elastomering impression materials. Impression usually made in special tray, perforated stock tray for the making impression in putty. Space should be given about 2 to 4 millimeter. Elastomers do not adhere well to the tray. Adhesive should be applied onto tray to allow it to dry before making impression, and the bulk of the impression لازم يعني نشتغلها بالheavy consistency. Light body should only be used as a thin layer as a wash materials. Methods of making impression. هي عندنا single mix technique اللي هي tray use اللي هي عندنا resin custom tray with the 2 to 4 spacing and viscosities use regular one. multi mix technique اللي هي tray use resin custom trays with the 2 to 4 spacing viscosity اللي heavy body و light body. و 2 stage putty wash technique tray use perforated stock tray viscosity use putty and light body. Thank you for your attention, and we will complete our lecture in next PowerPoint.